Me? For real? Oh. You can call from the Bahamas using Rev Boy's prepaid home phone service and prepaid chat cards for much less.
Hey girl, are you ready?
You get free unlimited on-island calls, voicemail, and no internet service or ID is required.
Hello?
Rev Boy's prepaid home phone service and prepaid chat cards.
Hey, mamá. Vai bien.
Staying in touch never sounded so good.
Good evening, Bahamas. This is NB12 broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios on Robinson Road. Here's what's making news tonight. The Christian Council says the nation, including the church, has dropped the ball in the fight against crime. An exigency order could be on the way for hundreds of flood victims. The opposition leader weighs in. NEMA officials encouraging those affected to take pictures of the damage, plus a special ceremony this Memorial Day. Those stories and much more on the way. I'm Nakia DeVoe, and NB12 starts right now. Here at NB12. The church in the Bahamas has failed in the fight against crime. That stark admission today coming from Bahamas Christian Council executives who say it's now time for the blame game to end. Our Jasmine Bonamy tells us what the Christian Council intends to do about troubling crime trends.
Often criticized for its silence on national issues, executives of the Bahamas Christian Council today insisting that when it comes to crime, the finger pointing must stop, as they say all sectors of society have failed to address the issue. Speaking candidly, Patterson said the time for pointing fingers is over. He said Bahamians must act now before the spiraling crime situation gets further out of control. The country has recorded a spate of particularly violent crimes over the past week or so, recording 9 murders since last Monday. Patterson said it is a frightening reality that cannot be ignored. And while Patterson admitted the church can do more, he said the criticism recently leveled at the church has been unfair in some aspects. He said over the past several months, the church has been working behind the scenes.
If the truth be told, the church is doing. See, a lot of people are asking what the church is going to do. The church is doing every day in this country. We are making a difference in the lives of people. Our mandate is to go and reach. We have met with the Commissioner of Police. We continue to meet with National Security. We met with these people. We talked with these people. We had opportunities to meet on many occasions with the Attorney General's office and the DPP. We've met. We've been involved in the process.
While admitting failure, Patterson said the church is not the only entity that has dropped the ball on the issue. He also apologized to the critics who believe that the church can do more. Council Vice President Victor Cooper pledged that the church will escalate its efforts going forward.
And that it is indeed a partnership that involves all of us. Crime strikes all of us. And we're very concerned about the level of criminality, especially as it relates to the murder in our country. Because not only is it affecting us as Bahamians locally, it is really damaging our citizenry internationally. And we can ill afford to allow the kind of reports leaving our nation as it relates to crime and murder, especially murder of our visitors. And so we want to appeal to all and sundry, and particularly our young men, that we must stop this exercise of acting as if we are gods in murdering people.
In its first coordinated public effort to combat crime, Patterson announced that the BCC will hold a national prayer gathering at Evangelistic Temple on Collins Avenue on June 13th.
Where we're asking you, all of us, if we know of any crime being committed in our country, if you know of children who are being molested, we want to know about it. We want you to put the information in that box. I'm calling on all of us to take responsibility for what is going on in our country.
The council is also calling on all Bahamians to be a part of the solution. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bonamy.
A 51-year-old man was remanded to prison today after being charged with having sex with his 2 sons. The accused, whose identity we cannot reveal, was charged with 2 counts of incest, 1 for each child. He was also charged with aiding and abetting one of his sons to have sex with the other. The man of Turnquest Avenue was charged before Chief Magistrate Roger Gomez. It is alleged that on Wednesday, November 21, 2012, the accused had sex with his 11-year-old son. Police also allege that the accused, sometime between 2011 and 2012, had sex with his 8-year-old son. The man is also accused of purposefully aiding and abetting his 11-year-old son in committing incest with his 8-year-old brother. Gomez told the accused that he was not required to enter a plea. He told him that a voluntary bill of indictment will be served against him. The accused lawyer, Ramona Farquharson, said that he wished to express that he is innocent and that the charges have no merit. The accused was remanded to Her Majesty's prison until July 16th. Since Friday, officials from the National Emergency Management Agency, Department of Social Services, and Royal Bahamas Defense Force have visited about 900 homes in Pinewood Gardens in eastern New Providence. They say just about all of those homes have sustained moderate to severe flood damage. That's hundreds of families that hope to receive some sort of assistance from government. And officials aren't done visiting impacted homes yet. Voningtoot accompanied teams as they visited homes in the east today and came across one home where a family lost almost everything. They're now appealing to the public for assistance. Here's that story.
Floodwaters have receded here in eastern New Providence, but the telltale signs of last week's torrential downpour remain. Here on Queens Road, one family was forced to dump more than half of the furniture in its home, leaving several rooms completely empty.
It was a nightmare because the whole house was covered with water. We had to shut off the electricity and, with no water, it was scary.
After water began seeping into their home Tuesday night, Lisa Lundy says she and 3 of her relatives, including an elderly amputee, scrambled onto a bunk bed to get away from what she described as freezing cold water. Nearly a week later, water marks about 6 inches high could still be seen on their walls. On the outside, a giant waste container sat on the family's lawn, filled to the brim with wet furniture.
We tried to save some by putting a lot in the sun just so we could have something to lay on and to store a little bit of stuff, but we practically lost almost everything.
Tell us pieces of furniture you would have lost.
We lost like our living room set, all the bureaus in the house, the bedrooms, and all the bedrooms are partly gone.
When our news team visited the family's home of nearly 4 decades this afternoon, the living room and 1 bedroom were virtually empty, while cabinets in the kitchens and bathrooms were destroyed. Lundy says 4 adults live in the home, but only one of them is employed. She's now appealing to government and the public for assistance to help replace some of their furniture.
Whatever assistance the government can give us will be well appreciated, and whomever can help us. I'll appreciate too if the members of the public can, see whatever they can do to help us at this time.
Lundy's home is just one of many homes NEMA officials visited in eastern New Providence today. Rensworth Butler from the Department of Social Services and NEMA's First Assistant Secretary Crystal Glinton say while assessments are not yet complete, officials have visited more than 800 homes, and just about all of them sustained some form of damage.
The homes that we are mainly visiting are those that have received damages, and so that's well over 800-900 persons who received damages. Now, to the extent of the damages, that's entirely different. But they receive some sort of damages, either it's to sheetrock or to their furniture and appliances.
I would say, based on the assessment form that we would say at least 20% of the homes that we have visited so far was severely damaged.
NEMA's director, Captain Stephen Russell, has said he will make recommendations to government on assistance after reviewing assessment reports. As flood assessments continue, NEMA officials are not yet able to say how soon residents of impacted areas would receive much-needed relief. Reporting for NB12, I'm Voningtoot.
In many cases, impacted residents cleaned up their homes before NEMA officials were able to conduct damage assessments. First Assistant Secretary Crystal Glinton urged people in areas they haven't visited as yet to take photographs.
Because we have the assessment teams that are out and they're doing the very best that they can. Right now we have about 18 teams out, and we need persons, I know they want to start cleaning up, but that they should take photographs of their damages and to also make note of it.
Meantime, Rensworth Butler from the Department of Social Services says some residents have insisted that while their homes were damaged, they do not need government assistance because they have insurance.
But one of the things we also found that it's in the east area, particularly in the Winton area, that was hit very hard. A number of persons, they was very pleased to see that we were in the area. But they said that, you know, thanks, but they will be able to assist themselves. We will be focusing on the areas that persons who are more or less would be needing the assistance.